streets feel alive. We're mixed with life. Goes down, blown down, and life shines bright. Going fast, such a blast on a train, on a boat, on a plane. So good to feel the rush again. And it's never coming down. We're invincible. You and I can. We
All right, all right. We are on the live. My goodness, my goodness. We are live and ready. My goodness, yes. You know, my goodness is my tagline. Nobody can take that one. My goodness. Oh man, man, man.
All right.
Man, yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. That's another one too, right? All right, we are live today and kicking and thanking God for being here. All right, so today we have a wonderful show, as you can tell. It's a huge topic. In fact, we have to break it apart into maybe two, probably three or more if we can get far today. But we just want to let you know that we have an important topic to discuss today. But before we go on, we just want everybody to share. If you join us or you are just about to join in the live, or maybe you're watching after the replay, whatever it is, we want to make sure that you share. So I'm showing you how you share. Just go on your phone as you watch, and I see somebody just joined. Just click the share. First, click the thumbs up like I'm doing now, and then after that, you do the share. You know, sharing will make sure that other people will join and see that we are live, because a lot of people don't usually know when we go on live. So I just want to encourage you to share, click, and then share as we basically get ourselves together and ready for our live show. Before we start, we just want to give you guys the opportunity to share with us how your week has been going. You know, we always just come straight up with a lot of information, but we just want to break that protocol a little bit. You know, by the way, I am DrOteng, affectionately called either DrOteng, Dr. DrOteng, whichever one you can say. And my co-host is
Gifty Oteng.
Oh, come on, say it with like passion, all right? Gifty. My co-host is the beautiful Gifty, my one and only wife, and we are here to share our our experiences and knowledge and what have you, whatever you think you could share if you had a chance. You know, we got a chance of using this medium to share, so we just want to share. And so click the share, and then you will share what we are sharing with others. That is a good thing. So that is what we are here to do today. But again, like we say, just being on a relaxed mood today. Share with us in the comment section. Write in the comment what you achieved this week that makes you happy. And if you didn't achieve anything, just type nothing really big this week. But I'm hoping for a better week this week. I mean, last week, but I'm hoping for a better week this week. So that's what I'm going to say. And do you have anything to share on your own for this week?
Oh, this week, it was a little hectic at work, and the stress was a little high, but we've been learning a lot how to cope. So I try to maneuver through, but we are here well and alive, and we are thankful to God.
My goodness, that's what you got to do. That is what you got to do. That is what you got to do. Being alive is all the solution you need, right? Once there's life, there's hope. And so I'm happy that some of the lessons we teach here are also helping us. And like you, my past week was as hectic too. But, you know, especially where I am, some people who watch show actually commented that you've been talking about stress. Let's see how you do under this under this strenuous condition you are in now. So it is good to basically just remember what you teach and act on it. So it was a stressful week, past couple of weeks, but we are hanging in there by the grace of God and by remembering what we learned. So hopefully, as you join us, you're going to find something useful that will help you in the coming weeks ahead, because life is a journey of learning. So we're going to continue to learn and share what we can. So that is what we have. Now, with that being said, I want us to talk about our health tip for the week. And do you want to start? Or?
Yeah, so I think we were talking about a review for the past 6 months so far. Um, if you want to share with us if you have made any changes in your life from all the information that we are pouring out there, we know that you can get all the information, but it's useless if you don't apply the information that you are absorbing or you're hearing. So we just want to see what change have you adopted so far. Have you made any change? Have you made an appointment for this year to go see your doctor? Have you decided to check on any diagnostic thing that you're due for? Mammogram, colonoscopy, other things? Have you checked on your diet, the behavior in the things that you do daily? Are you incorporating exercise or activity in there? Is there anything different, anything that you're doing differently from hearing us talk almost every week, once a week, twice a week? What have you done differently?
What have you done differently? What have you done differently? So that is our health tip. Just go back and review the past 6 months. The year is about halfway through. In fact, it is not about. It is halfway through. We're actually
Even
a little
more.
bit over half. And it's good to take stock of what you have achieved and what you haven't achieved so far, what you have failed to do, pair your own goals in the beginning of the year, and see what changes you can do. That if you are able to do that, it is going to build your self-confidence. We are talking about your health, your lifestyle, your health, having a healthy attitude. And if you're able to achieve even the little things that some of the things we talked about, little steps, that will perhaps give you the motivation to do greater things. So that is our health tip. Review. Basically, health tip is simple as that. Look back and see what you have done and what you can do better for the next 6 months. All right, so that is our health tip for the year. It's our health tip. I mean, for the week. I wish that was that for the end of the year. Yeah, but yeah. So, with that being said, we are going to go straight into our topic today. Our topic today, as we know, we are in episode 3. Remember, episode season 2, episode 3. Season 1 has been done with the stress and all those things. So if you want to remember or look back on anything that we talked about, stress and all that, you can go back and check our videos. But we started this new episode, which is basically healthy lifestyle and healthy living, personal development. And this is a third one. We're talking today about habits that kill. That is one of them. And hopefully next week we'll do habits that kill 2, because we couldn't push everything into one video. And today we basically going to focus on, how habits are actually formed. That way we can proceed on to our next week with how to break those habits. So that is our topic for today. Now, that is out of the way. And so if you are just joining us again, we need the honors for you to share. I've seen 3 people joining, and thank you for joining. And we want you to continue to watch us till the end and keep the sharing thing going on your channels, so Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you are watching us from. Just don't forget to hit the like and the share so that we can invite other people to see what we have to learn together. All right, so that begins our talk for today. More relaxed today, right? because the rain has been tough today. It's calmed everything down. My goodness. It had rained like crazy, with all the alerts of floods going on. As a matter of fact, on our way to church, I was a little bit scared. I tried to play, the man of the house driving, but I haven't seen that kind of rain before. Man, that was
I think
it,
it
wa-
was a tornado,
it
right?
was yeah. They said tornado watch, but this was more than what I've seen at least. And so uh, uh, everything has calmed down. So we are all calm, and so relax and let's chill together. All right. So on our topic, we're saying that we're talking about how habits are formed, and basically uh, we have a show outline to do today. We're going to go through these show outlines, and by the end, we should have learned something. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what are behaviors and habits. We're talking about the dangerous habits, rewiring your lifestyle choices. So, what are behaviors and habits? We're going to talk about what they are, and then also after that, we're going to do some examples of unhealthy habits, some examples of unhealthy habits that we want to actually train ourselves not to be at. And then we're also going to talk about how these habits are formed, how these habits are formed. And then after that, we will also talk about how to break those habits. And that is slated for next week because I don't think we can do all of them this week. So um, that is the outline for our show today. Behaviors and habits, what are they? And the examples of unhealthy habits, what are some of them? Of course, there's a lot, tons of examples, but we're going to just, choose a few and then you can make up the rest in a list. And then how habits are even formed. And then we hopefully next week will continue with how to break those unhealthy habits. So let's begin with the behaviors. Yes, behaviors. So would you want me to start or you want
Yeah, so behavior is any action, conduct that can be intentional or unintentional. So the way that you act, you behave, that's behavior. Your actions. So it can be intentional or unintentional. It can be internal and it can be deliberate. So basically, behavior is an action.
behavior is an action. Anything that you do, whether you have thought about it or you have planned or it came naturally with you, whatever it is. Like it's a host of all the things you can do. We can say everything you do is a result of your behavior. You are behaving, you are acting some way because you have made either a deliberate choice or in some instances a subconscious choice. But whatever it is, you have chosen to do something. So any action, like she said, can be classified as behavior. All right. So
And I also mentioned it can be external. So based on things happening around can cause you to behave
some
certain
way.
ways. And sometimes what's happening internally can maybe make you come out as being disrespectful. That's a behavior because of things that is going on internally and externally.
So basically, it can be induced, right,
Right.
by your internal stimuli or your external stimuli, outside forces invoking you or inducing you to do something or something that you do because of how you feel within your body or your mind or wherever is inside. So behaviors are things that happen that we do. So everybody actually have a behavior. Now we are behaving by doing this live show. We have intentionally come and share. We are sharing with you. So this is a behavior, a choice we have made to do it. So whatever you doing, you have behavior. It's a behavior. All right. So now let's link that to habits. What would we say habits are? You want me to start?
Yeah. So habits is a type of behavior.
Mm,
So I think habits, we can say that it's a
subset.
subset of behavior. It's a section of behavior. But a habit is a little different from behavior in a way that it's more like it's repetitive, like you do it over and over a period of time. So you have a behavior and you're doing it over and over again, then that becomes
A
a
habit.
habit. So it's a section of behavior. So behavior can be just one time due to external factors or internal things that's happening to you. That can be a behavior. But it becomes a habit when you do it repeatedly, like over a long period of time. Then it will get to a point that you don't even think about it. It becomes something that is automatic. It just happened right there because it has been so repeated over and over that it has become second nature to you. That
That's a
you
key
are
word. It's
like
become second
you are
nature. My goodness.
comfortable doing it over a period of time. Yeah, over and over again.
All right, all right, all right. I think I don't think I have anything to add except to say that, like she said, um, it is repetitive. It's something that you repeat over. I think we had a number to it. Do you
Yeah.
remember
So
how many?
like 21 times. So if you have a behavior and you do it over and over, study has proven that if you do it continuously for about 21 days, 21 times, maybe if you're doing it daily and you do it repeatedly for 21 days, it becomes a habit because you're doing it over and over. And it's ingrained in the
In the
brain
brain.
such that you don't even think of it and it's done. Like driving to work. You know your path so well that you get to work and you're like, how did I even get there? It has become second nature to you.
So it is ingrained in your brain. It is second nature. Those are keywords. So I mean, we are not just talking about this for talking's sake. We are going to link it to your health. How your choices are made. Why you cannot eat some foods that everybody knows are good for you. Why you don't exercise. It is because of some habitual things that you do or some behaviors that you have to do. So these are all going to come together once we become more specific, but we just want to make sure that so that when we talk about how to break certain habits, you will know how to do that and the importance of doing it. And it's not just like, oh, I quit. Some people say, oh, I quit, and then tomorrow you see them, they're still doing the same thing because they did not think about it long enough to know that it's a habit that has been done and performed over years, and the brain has taken charge. And so, like she said, it's a second nature to them. Second nature things cannot be easily stopped. If you are alcoholic, or if you are a womanizer, or if you are a drug addict, or anything of the nature, and you are hooked on it, your brain has already, formed pathways that makes it easy because of the rewards that it gets. And for that matter, you can't just say, I stop. No, you didn't stop because your brain didn't stop yet. My goodness.
So we can say that if it's behavior, you can easily stop
If it is
because
a
it's a
behavior,
behavior, right? But it becomes very hard to stop a habit because it's been done over and over and over again. That is so part of you now.
second nature,
Yes.
becomes very hard to stop a habit. Unlike behaviors, because behaviors, you probably haven't done it more than 21 times, like she's saying. And so, once a while, the influence comes and you do it. But once it's a habit, you need help to stop. And that is why we are saying and talking about dangerous habits. So if we have a dangerous habit, it's not just a dangerous behavior. A dangerous behavior may eventually lead to a dangerous habit if you do it too many times, like past 21 times, if that research is correct, then it becomes a dangerous habit. But for us, for our health, for our well-being, we don't want to get into dangerous habits. So, and the dangerous habits that we have already, accumulated in our lives, we want to have a way or find a way to stop them. And so that is the essence of the subject. Talking about dangerous habits and also behaviors. So I don't know if there's anything else to say about uh, for behavior. I mean, for habits. I think we already mentioned that there is the brain part of it, which is very important, key. That's very key because without that, then there's not. We can't really call it a habit. So habit is something you do naturally without thinking. Something you do naturally without thinking. All right, so we'll move on now. All right. So with that being said, let me see what our next slide is. We are going to habits.
Which we
Oh,
talked
we
about
read just
already.
this, which we already did. So habits. Now, one thing else that we probably can add to habit is that because it involves your brain, I may have alluded to it. your brain creates signaling pathways that are shortened, I should say. They become shorter, so you don't have to think. Let's break it down. For example, the coming down to the basement to do a live show, I had to think about it. We have to plan, come down, walk here, set up the systems, and make sure that everything is working. Read. When we choose a topic, we just don't come. We have to read and do research just to make sure that we know what we're talking about. Those are behaviors. Those are behaviors that we are doing. But if it becomes a habit, then you don't do anything. You just wake up and zoom. It's like your brain already knows what you're doing. You just flow into it. And the reason is that your brain has adopted certain mechanisms. So, we probably will get to that. So maybe I'm going ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's continue the slide
So
difference.
yeah, so with that, it means that there is difference between habits and behaviors. That's where I think I was going now. So habits are always automatic. For habits, they happen without being voluntary about it. I mean, because there are rewards in habits, Of course, behaviors may also be rewarded, but for habits, your brain has understood that when you do this thing, you get this certain reward. And because of the rewards you get, the brain already loves that reward, and you don't need to think or work hard about it. It is, like Gifty said, the key word is second nature to you because of the rewards of that. You have anything to add to that?
And let's continue.
So yeah, so that is the difference between habits and behaviors. Behaviors can easily be stopped. Habits require a little more effort. And habits are repetitive, things that happen over a long period. Behaviors may be once a while. And habits are always automatic. You do not, it's subconsciously, it's happening without you thinking about it. So if you are doing anything and you want to know if it's your habit, maybe you are drinking, you want to know if it's a habit or it's a behavior, these things will let you know. You are exercising or you are not. Is exercising a second nature to you, or it's a habit? You have to really think about it so you will know. If you're doing anything, you can put that word there. Just ask yourself, is this a habit now? If you know that you have done over 21 times and you are rewarded, and when you do it, you don't feel pain. When you do it, you get joy. It means you are habit. You are doing it in habits.
Yeah, I have a friend who smokes, right? And he's like, oh, I can stop whenever I want to. So one day he said, oh, I just want to stop. He forgotten that because he's been doing it over and over and over, it has become a habit. And he couldn't stop because now he has formed a habit to that he thinks about the reward and the things that he get out of smoking. It's not that easy to stop because he has formed a habit to it. It's no more a behavior. It's now part of you that you don't consciously think about it. It just happened because it's a habit that you have formed.
My goodness. So that is the difference between habits and behaviors. All right, so now let's move on to the next one. So we're going to talk about some of the examples of unhealthy habits. And this is where it gets interesting. If we don't mention your habit, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You know what you do. And if it's a good habit, then of course we want you to reward yourself and do more. In fact, we encourage good habits to continue. And when good habits have become really good, you should teach others to also enjoy the same, right? And if yours is not a good one, then of course, as we go to next week, you learn how to break those habits, because there's help out there. We can not just talk about it, but you can find help through what we say also. So the first thing we're talking about is negative mindset. Negative mindset. Do you understand?
Okay.
So negative mindset. Some people are noted to have negative outlook over everything. It's, in fact, they don't even know that they live like that. They are habitually negative.
Wow.
If you tell them anything, they will find the negative about it for you. Oh my goodness. Come on, man.
They are the dream killers, right?
They are the dream killers. And they don't just do it to people around them, they do it to themselves. In fact, it is something that they have, cultivated, and they have joy about it. If they think that they're going to fail, it gives them some reward. What kind of reward? I don't know. Yeah, definitely. What kind of reward? I don't know. I can't just put my hands on it. But for some people, being negative about every situation is what they do. They probably don't know that that is how they are doing in their life, but they come through all the time. If nobody points it to them, they will continue to do it and do it and do it. Some people too, just making sure that some other people are doing bad. It makes them feel better. I've seen, in my young years on earth right now, I've seen a group of people who only feel that they are doing well when others are failing.
Wow.
My goodness.
And you're saying that they have done it over and over again and again, that it's now part of them. It's a habit that they have.
It's now
right?
part of them. Right. It's now part of them. I wanted to make sure that people here are not saying that it is not. It is now part of them. They do it without knowing. They only feel that they have succeeded if the person next to them is failing. That is a habit that is called a negative mindset habit. The mindset of jealousy, the mindset of, there's another
Somebody
word.
in trouble.
Yeah, always feeling that they only feel good about themselves if the next person around them is feeling
Suffering.
horrible.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, to the extreme, there's a case in New York, Long Island rapists that have just been arrested. A serial killer that has been just arrested. This man, allegedly, we got to be careful. It's innocent until proven guilty, right? This man allegedly raped and killed three women, and this is a man that owns an architectural firm in Midtown, Manhattan. Think about it. This man has made it. His family, born and bred in New York, nice family with kids. Middle-aged white man. Everything is working out for them. Living and having a business in, the expensive part of New York City, living in Long Island, expensive places like that, and yet there's a habit that came through, and he did not stop. And again, it is not easy. I'm pretty sure he wanted to stop, but did not seek the help that he needed, because his rewards for raping and killing women were to see women in pain. Seeing other people suffer gave him, the joy to feel good. Oh my goodness. Even when I say it, I feel horrible. Yes. And as a matter of fact, they were analyzing him on TV, and they were saying this before we even decided to talk about this subject. He feels good when he sees other people suffer. And as a matter of fact, apart from killing those people, he was calling the families of these women whom she killed to torment them. And the people who were analyzing his mind said that when he hears the family members also cry, he felt good. He was sexually aroused just to hear that other people are crying on the other end. My goodness. So if I say that some people have a habit of seeing other people fail just to feel better, I'm not being far-fetched. The extreme is what we are seeing. But there are a lot of people we are working with, doing life with, who unintentionally, they have developed it over years, probably through their childhood. They don't even know, and they are hurting other people because that's the only way they feel good about themselves. And so that is one example of a negative habit that can happen. Negative mindset. This is where that has sent us. I don't know if you have anything.
Yes. So, if you think of in terms of health, right? They will say that, oh, everybody will die. There is no point in trying to maybe do intermittent fasting or cutting down portion size, exercising, hurting your body, muscle pull, muscle hurt. Why does he have to go through all that? Because everybody is going to die anyway. Because of their mindset.
Negative mindset.
And the outlook of life is so negative that everything that they think of or they see around, they don't have anything good to say about, because they have these habits that they've cultivated over a long period of time.
My goodness,
Yeah.
my goodness, and it is sad, when we say it like this. But again, check yourself before you rush to judgment. Check yourself, because uh, we may not mention all the negative habits now, but you just analyze the things you do that you don't know were habits that you have developed over the years,
Yeah,
and
so we can also term these people as being who are pessimists, right?
some of them are
Some
pessimistic.
are
Yeah,
very pessimistic. Everything, they always dwell on the
on the
negative
negative side.
side.
Negative
So,
side instead of being optimistic
mhm.
and being positive. Not that we are not realists, we are realists. And I think on this show we talked about one time where we actually said that having faith doesn't mean that you should just pray and sit down and call machines to be built when you are not working. We know you have to be realistic, and we are men of and women of faith, but you still have to have that optimism, because if you don't have a positive mindset, then you're not going to launch out. You're not going to do anything for yourself. So you got to have first your mindset change to be positive, and then after that, everything else that is required will fall in place. So now let's move on to the next one. The next one is overeating. That's another unhealthy habit. Unhealthy habit, overeating. And you
Go ahead.
understand? So overeating is another huge thing that most people are having as a habit that they don't know. In fact, some people don't even know that they are overeating. Um, yeah, some people don't even know that they're overeating, But if they were to take time to analyze how much food they eat, how much food that goes into this little belly, this stomach, maybe one time we'll get some, surgeons to come and show us the stomach, the size of stomachs, and then ask yourself, the food that you sit down and eat during dinner or lunch, do you really think it will fit the stomach? But some people sit down and they eat it all. It's overeating. By virtue of the food being available, granted that food may be cheap where you are from, where you are. I mean, in the US, if you want to eat and die, you can eat and die. I've watched shows where people do hot dog competition and people eat hot dogs and just to win. The food is plenty, So if you do not take care, you become an overeater, and it becomes a habit. And we're going to talk about how habits are formed in a few more slides. But this is just an example to let you know that overeating can become a habit, which means that your brain has connected some reward to eating larger portions of food all the time, to the extent that you don't think about it. Remember, that's why we define habits. So you don't think about it. It's so easy to do, and you just, I like that word you say, it becomes second nature. Before you know, you are eating, and not just
A whole
eating a
bowl.
whole bowl, And when we were kids, I remember when our parents, even no matter how big the food is, no matter how small the food is, they will leave some, because during those days they felt like if you leave some, then the kids will come and enjoy and all those things. And maybe it was a way to just not overeat. Who knows? But I also remember people who ate fufu cut into two balls with a line inside. Those of you who know the food I'm talking about, and giving it to their fathers, and everything is gone.
No, I think if you finish eating, it means that you were not given enough. So you have to leave just a little bit, so
Oh,
that
so
whoever
that
served
your
you
wife
will
will not
know
think that it was
that,
too
oh,
small.
I was filled enough, so I
My
have to leave
goodness.
some.
That's a cultural way of learning to leave something
Leave a little
behind,
bit,
a
a little
little
bit.
bit. But I mean, those of you who know the food I'm talking about, or banku, or those of you who also know the American way of eating, you can get a triple burger sandwich, a triple burger hamburger, triple meat, I should say. It's the meat is there, three of them. One of them cheese on the bottom, on the top, cheese on the bottom, with a little bit of leaves to deceive you, make you feel like you're eating healthy.
Green, okay.
And then you sit and you pack it all up, and then after that you get a medium size. And I don't know about the sizes of soda. You ask for medium, and these companies will give you a giant bottle, even though you said you wanted medium, as
That's
if
their medium.
that's, oh my goodness, my goodness. No, I remember
So
I've
you have
bought
to
those
ask for
things.
small.
No, even if it's small, they'll give you huge. I don't know whether if they have run out of cups for the smaller size or not. Granted, there's a little bit of ice in the bottom, but you drink all this on top of this triple burger, triple meat burger, or whatever they call it, and then you sit and you feel you're good. That is overeating. Of course, you did not just learn it one way; it has become a habit. And when you get to the drive-through and you are ordering, you don't even look for anything else. You just say it. Kind of like when I'm
Number
getting
5.
number 5 and they give it to you. When I'm getting my coffee, it's like the people who sell me coffee, at the local place that I buy, they already know what I want. One time I changed it and the guy was like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Yeah. But that is habitual eating, which is overeating, and it has become a habit and it's killing people. People eating too much, too much. Because food may be cheap. Some people don't even have money, and yet they spend their money also on food. So much food. So that is another bad habit that we can also talk about. I don't know if you.
Yeah, with the eating, some people has also built this habit of eating very late.
That's also a bad habit.
Very bad habit.
Nocturnal eaters,
Yes.
like my cat, right? My goodness.
So like if they stay up a little late, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, they are still eating because food is what available. You open the fridge and all the delicacies and everything out there, you just pick and you sit down. And it has become so like familiar that sometimes at the back of your mind that it's not good because a study shows that you have to eat and give yourself 4 hours before you go to bed. It's not right, but because you have formed a habit, you just eat, and after you've eaten you just lie down and you're gone and you're sleeping. But because you have built that habit, you are not able to stop because it has been part of you.
My goodness. We have a question here, and Mr. Hamza Michael is saying that can we also describe habit as a characteristic of a person? That's a huge one. Can we describe habit as a characteristic of a person? I'll take that one. And I would say you can describe it as a characteristic of a person if that person has that habit. For example, if you know that this is the way I do certain things and it's a habit, it's a behavior that I've done over and over again, and you can call me that I have this trait. You can say
It's your
it's
character.
my character because it's become part of me. It's become something that I do over and over and over. So I think he's right. So but I don't want us to also label people by their habits.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't want us to go to the realms of, calling people names just because of the habits. The habit is something that, as we are going to learn how they get it, they may have learned it, or it may have been something that due to the environment, we're going to talk about that. So labeling people by that may not be the best, but you are right to describe somebody as having that character because they do certain things and it's repeated. Everybody knows that this, for example, let's use this easy way. A womanizer, everybody knows that this guy sleeps around all the time. I mean, it's a bad habit, and unfortunately, he's known for it, he's been doing it. So if you are describing him as having that character, I mean, you're right, right?
That's a habit.
That's a habit.
And one thing is like it's something that we learn. You know, it's something that we get used to based on our environment and the way
Okay,
that
so
we
that
brought
is
up.
going to take us to
Yeah.
the forms. But let's just finish with the example so that we won't go ahead of our terms
Okay.
ourselves. So that we have. Are you done with the
Yes.
overeating?
Yes.
All right. So now after overeating, the next example is poor nutrition. Poor nutrition is also a bad or a dangerous habit.
That can kill.
That can also kill. Yeah, our title is the habits that kill, right? Poor nutrition is a dangerous habit. And again, some people don't know that they are not feeding themselves right. Other people know, but they don't have time for themselves. I got 2 jobs, man. I got 2 jobs. Nobody is cooking at home for me. What do you expect? After my second job, after my first job, I have maybe just a couple hours to go to my second job. And so what do you expect? I got to hit, these fast food joints and get me something. I got to get something. What you think I shouldn't eat? So they end up doing that over and over and over, eating a poor diet along over a long period. So it becomes a habit for them. So such that even when they don't have to go to work, for those two jobs, they still eat that way. So it becomes what second nature to them. So that is my take on poor nutrition being a habit, a dangerous habit.
Yeah, and also they also tend to crave for bad foods,
The
because
rewards.
the rewards that they get from it, or because of the habits that they've cultivated
Mhm.
over a long period of time. They tend to crave. That cravings become so strong if they don't feed
Mm.
their habits. So poor nutrition can include like all the starchy foods that you can think of. There is no balanced diet. You don't do the grains, you don't do the protein, the
The
good
leaves,
proteins. You're not doing the white meat. You are always doing the fatty and
red
the
meat,
red meats, and
no
you're
leaves, no
yeah,
green
and
leaves,
it's not balanced. You are always eating the same kind of food over and over and over again,
drinking minerals or
and
soda.
topping it with all the
Mm.
sugary drinks. That's bad nutrition. So if you keep doing that over and over, it forms a habit. It forms a habit,
Hmm.
and that's something that you cannot do because it's so part of you. And even if you're sleeping at night and you see the commercial on TV and they're showing all this juicy, meat with dripping with a fatty,
Oils.
cheese and all that, you will get into your car and go and buy it because you have built the habit and the cravings are so strong that you can't stop. So that forms, that unhealthy habit that you need to watch out for because what it can kill.
Yes,
It can
definitely,
kill.
definitely. All right, so that is poor nutrition,
Mhm.
and the next one, I think there's another one. The next one is alcoholism. My goodness, my goodness.
The video, the video you put on our
Yeah, alcoholism. No, I didn't put it. So some people are also drinking their way out of life, and it is a habit. It's become a habit. It started as behaviors,
Mhm.
maybe hanging out with friends after work, and so they started one drink. Oh, that's fine, and then now they ended up buying these alcohol, all kinds of alcohol in, and saving them in their own refrigerators and drinking anytime they're home. They think they're doing good because they don't drink and drive, they
Mhm.
don't drink at work, but when they are home they are chilling, man. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
They are not hurting anybody.
Right, they are not hurting anyone, they are not doing drugs. I mean, it's just a little, relaxing thing, after a long day's work. Come on, man, what do you want from me? That's what they would say. Right, but it becomes a habit to the extent that when you live your life, you can't live without it. Every day you're home, you got to drink your beer, you got to drink your vodka, you got to drink whatever name you call it, and it is not something that it's a good habit. It's a dangerous habit that can lead to liver cirrhosis. It
Mm.
can lead to your liver touching your own liver at some point. People think that you got to be really alcoholic before you can hurt yourself. No, a little bit, little incremental things over a long period can also do damage, right?
Mm.
Even now, these days, people are even getting cirrhosis without alcohol. Cause
Mm.
something what fatty
Liver.
cirrhosis. Yeah, cirrhosis due to fat accumulation in your liver. And so, on top of it, if you add alcohol, you are speeding yourself into liver damage. And not only that, other ways that alcohol can hurt your kidneys, can hurt your blood pressure, it can hurt your mental health, and all those things. So, alcohol is another bad habit that people have. Alcohol use.
But some people say that it's helped them to eat because
Mm, my goodness, my goodness.
they have to take the shots, in order for them to be able to eat because maybe they don't have the appetite to eat much. So taking a little bit of alcohol can help them eat. And doing it over and over and over again becomes a habit. And it will get to the point that they cannot stop.
I can tell you point blank that those who say that they have to drink alcohol to be able to eat. They are all lies. Come on, man.
You don't drink.
No, the reason is that I'm going from the fact of nature. When God created Adam and Eve, alcohol is something we human beings made. And so you want to say that if there's no alcohol, people will eat. Come on, man. You
That's
will
just an
eat. If
excuse,
you're
yeah.
hungry, you will eat. It's an excuse, right? If you're hungry, you will eat.
But
If
we eat a lot,
if you we are already talking to you, don't eat a lot. So what do you need alcohol? What do you need alcohol for? To eat a lot. If you're lucky and your body says don't eat a lot, praise God. You're gonna be healthier. Just eat a little bit and be good. And sometimes to blame the woman, the pressure on the man, to do a lot of work in the evening. The man thinks that they have to eat and eat and eat in order to gain the energy. Come on, man, you get me right, guys. And so some men do that for that reason, They won't tell you, but they think they got to amass all the energy they need for whatever happens later in the night. And so they use alcohol as a way, to binge up on food. But it is not healthy. It is not healthy. Find other ways. Do exercise. Do other things we've talked about in this channel, and ensure that you do not depend on a bad habit like alcohol use for whatever reason, appetite or whatever it is that you are doing. And again, especially if you're in the middle age or 40s or 30s, and at this age, if your body says you don't eat, just drink water. Praise God,
Yeah.
because you keep your weight in check, right? Why do you force yourself to eat unless it's unhealthy? Unless it's like no food at all, and But even that, the solution is not alcohol. We have medications. We'll give you medicines. We are pharmacists. We know the medicines that are prescribed for children and other people. In fact, adults too, to eat if you don't have appetite. So if you need appetite, see us. We will let you know.
And also, I think people also claim that a little bit of alcohol in your system also protect the heart, right?
Yeah, I don't.
So that can be an excuse for other people to get themselves into trouble by drinking and over drinking and getting them into trouble.
Right. That's another excuse that people use. But again, we don't believe in that. But if that's your belief, who am I? I'm just going to tell you what I
think
believe.
study shows that at least one glass of wine
yeah.
can be protective to the heart or
Yes,
help
that is what the study is saying.
when
One
you
glass.
drink already.
Yes.
But if you don't drink, I think we
Don't
don't
start it.
encourage you
Yeah.
to start.
You don't start it, please. And you don't start it because like I'm saying, if I start, I don't think one glass is going to be enough for me. So I better stay away. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that is alcoholism. I think there's another point there. One other bad or dangerous habit is addiction. That is another huge one. So alcohol could have fallen under addiction, but we took it out because it's a common thing that people do. Addiction, and for addiction we have several kinds of addiction. We mentioned some. Sex addiction is one, and what? Drug addiction is one, and then work addiction. Oh my goodness, nobody thought that we were going to say that too, right? Work addiction. Some people. Let's start with a sex addiction. Some people, everybody they see, they want to have something to do with them, sexually speaking, whether they are married or not. I'm pretty sure most of you watching this channel, you probably are not like that. But we want to be complete in this discussion so that, if anybody is watching and they can take, some lesson from that, then yes, you take that lesson. So it is not healthy for you. It is a dangerous habit. Basically, we are listing examples of dangerous habits, right? So that when we go to how to overcome dangerous habits, at least if you have that kind of a problem, you can learn how to overcome them. So sex addiction is a problem for a lot of people. Some people cannot stay one day without a man or one day without a woman. And some people are married and their lives are being, torn apart because the demand for sex by the man is so much that the woman cannot handle it. It's an addiction and it is a dangerous habit. And it is a habit because it happens repeatedly. This person doesn't even know. Only the woman knows what she's going through. My goodness. Yes. or only the man. Let me be complete. Both ways. Only the man also knows what he's also going through. For the person though, it is normal. It's like, why not me? Why not every day? Why the person, it is normal to them. It has become a habit. And this may be, again, due to something that they have practiced long time before they got into marriage, and it cannot be stopped easily like that because it's become what? A habit. Some people are not married, and yes, they're already living that way, you know, every day searching for somebody, to the extent that they have to actually go to the brothels and seek for prostitutes because they cannot be alone for a single time or a single night or even a week or whatever. It's like every day or every week, at least the longest is a week, something must happen. And that is not a healthy lifestyle. So that is sex addiction. You want to add anything to it?
The addiction
Oh,
can
but we
also
didn't
be
finish.
one.
Why are you running away?
Always say that. Always do that to me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
say
it's
that too.
complete. I think you
You think
touch
I'm
all the
complete?
basics. Yeah.
Well, the
So
women, I don't want the women to blame you. You are standing here for them. So if I say it, ladies, there,
yeah,
your representative is here. So don't say that I'm picking up on you or anything
yeah.
like that. All right, yeah.
So with the work addiction, I think some people have this problem. They don't think it's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really hurting their health
Mm-hmm.
because all that they want to do is to work, and they are so addicted that sitting down for an hour for themselves, to get back and relax,
Mm.
they feel so guilty. They feel like they can't do that. Even taking a vacation, they feel so guilty because they feel like they have to keep working and keep making the money because there is somebody over there that need help. So they have to work. So they work, 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 work. Some people have 3 jobs. They have 2 jobs that they don't have time for themselves. They don't have time to relax and take it easy. They don't have time to spend with family. They don't have time for doctor's appointment. They don't have time for anything. All that they want to do is to work. Especially, I think I will single out the immigrants more because where maybe some of us were coming from, the availability of job wasn't there because you are lucky to find one job, and they got here and they have the strength to take 3 jobs, and they will take on all these 3 jobs, and they will start working, and they will work and work and work and work. That can be something, a habit that you have formed, and it's very hard to break it. That when you are not even working, you feel guilty. It
Mm.
can be very dangerous, and it can affect your health.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. And like the rewards, remember the rewards of work, because when you work, there's money.
Mhm.
But the sad thing is,
You
those
see the
people,
greens
they
and you're
see,
satisfied,
yeah,
right?
they see the paycheck and the chemicals begin to release in their brain, and they are like, oh man, this is good. This is good money. Every time, stay for over time, then they stay. You know, it's all because of the rewards that your brain has attached to seeing money. Unfortunately, some of them don't even use the money for anything good. Sad to say, they spend this money buying and building homes that they can't even live in because they are stuck here and working and working and working and working. They end up getting sicker, at their earlier young age.
Mhm.
At their middle age, 60s and 70s, because they have
Overwork.
overstretched their body, they have overworked their bodies. So there's a reason why Scripture wanted the Israelites to have, Sabbath to rest, and so you have to rest. Work, 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 work. It's not the greatest thing to you. I know we want to be rich. Trust me, I want to be, I want to make more money from work when I work. And I'm pretty sure you want to be that too. But there has to be limits to what you do. Don't be addicted by the joy that comes with getting cash in your hands, especially and doing it for so long. You do it sometime for a project, finish it, stop it, and then resume and be normal rather than to work, work, work. No time for family, no time for your children, no time for God, no time for anything. Anything else is not important. It's just the money, the green, the dollar. You want to make it. You want to make it. Competition, what other people are building, what other people have. And so you strain yourself. gotta cut your coat according to your size. So that is a habit that is not good. Yeah, I want you to bring your questions and your comments. So far, I only see that one comment, and I just need you to bring your comments if you have any comments. Let us see your comments. All right. So that is the work addiction for you. And the last addiction thing that we were going to talk about was what? We talked about sex, work,
Drug.
and drugs. Drugs. Some people too are hooked on drugs. It's become a bad habit. And for some of them, it's through no fault of theirs. They probably got sick, they got surgery, and they were prescribed some pain medications that happened to be strong, and they got hooked on those. And unfortunately, after that time that they used it, they have found that whenever they take that medication, they get some euphoria, some inner joy. And so they seek for it to the point that now they have become hooked. So it has become a habit. They don't think about the consequences of doing drugs anymore. Again, the brain has already shut down that part of thinking. So they don't think about that. They don't think about how to get it. It is just, I need a drug, and it is dangerous. That's why we call it a dangerous habit. And we will talk about, again, how to overcome these dangerous habits in our next episode. So those are the, is there any more?
One more, I think.
Oh, there was a last one. The last one, the last dangerous habit is to be lonely. My goodness. My goodness. To be a lonely person is dangerous. I think when we started this live show, one of the first episode we had was on somebody who actually passed away in the UK, and it, I think it was months came by and nobody even knew that person was dead. Just lived alone, never talked to anybody, connected to no one. It was just work and home. And when they didn't show up on work, the work people thought she just quit. And they found her dead in her room several months after because of loneliness. So if you are lonely, it is a bad and it's a dangerous habit. My goodness. Yes. Now, I'm not saying that go out there and make friends with any dangerous person, because that's also a dangerous habit in itself, right? But we have to be staying connected, as a personal development technique. You have to be connected, because loneliness is not good for your health. It's not good for your well-being. And so that is another way that we can say habits can be dangerous. So loneliness is one. Now, if you are watching this, I know some people are watching. I want you to put in the chat what other habits you think are dangerous. I don't know if we have time to go about how habits are formed today. We should probably postpone that for next week. We're going to talk about how habits are going to be formed, and until we get there to next week, we just want to see what are some of the habits that you are also seeing. What are some of the habits? As we do that, I also want to show you that we want you to comment. If you only one person has commented today, man, that is difficult for those who are watching. Some of you left, but some are there. If you haven't commented, say something, and let's see that you are watching. And if you watch after the replay, bring your comment also, and share the stream if you haven't already shared, and subscribe. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you are watching on Facebook, make sure you follow. If you're already following, or if you're already a friend, you don't need to do anything. But if you have not followed, or if you are not a friend, make sure you click the follow button so that whenever we go live, you will see. And then if you're on Facebook too and you want to support our work, you can give us some stars, stars, so that we can also use it, to make our pocket a little bit heavy, because they are light. My goodness. All right. And then also, you don't forget to check on our website at DrOteng.com and see some of the things that we have there, t-shirts and stuff that you can use on your own, not just to, show people what you have been watching and seeing, but also you can buy it as a gift. Somebody's going through some serious stuff, you can just tell them, hey, I'm going to give this gift to this person. And then let them feel good. Success is impact, not well, somebody that's struggling to think and have meaning to life, you can buy them this T-shirt. Hey, chill out. You are succeeding. You are making impact. You made an impact on me. Success is impact. So that is something you can tell somebody about. We also have a lot of other things on our channel. We have yeah, I like this one. Say, life goes live. We are coming to you live on social media, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and wherever else you're watching, you know. But your life is live. Everybody is watching you. So whatever you're doing, you are not using video, but your life is live, and I like that. So yeah, those are some of the things that you can also get from our channel, and ensure that you can help others with also. So yes, I want to see if anybody has another comment. What do you think? If you are watching this now, or if you are watching after the replay, I want you to put in the comment or in the chat section, what are some of the dangerous habits that you think are out there, those that we did not mention. Just put them in the chat, and then we are going to review them and talk about them sometime later if we don't see it before we close. All right, so
Yeah, so with the loneliness, some people would think that getting used to a group of people, maybe the people from their country or any group of people, that those group of people gossip a lot. So they'll rather stay to themselves, they'll rather not connect with these people, and they will end up being lonely. So maybe they have reasons why they don't socialize. But as we are learning, it's good to connect. We are social beings. We need each other. So don't build that character or that thing that you say that, oh, I don't want anybody to talk about me. People talk a lot. I want to be by myself. I'm self sufficient. Nobody's self sufficient. You need your sister, you need your brother, we need each other. So don't get to that situation that you want to keep to yourself and you don't connect with anybody.
My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. That is loneliness for you. That is loneliness. So we are going to wrap up our show now because it's been an hour. So next week, instead of talking only about how to break those dangerous habits, we're going to first talk about how those habits, dangerous habits, are formed. And then after that, if there's time, we will do how to break them. If there's not time, we'll take it to the next show because we don't want to go too much over the hour. And so that is what we are going to do. I don't know about you, but I think I've enjoyed myself today. What do you think? We had fun, right? Right, so now, with the fun being done, I'm just waiting for people's comments. See if anybody was able to share with us what they think is another form of dangerous habit. Is anybody sharing anything? Nobody is sharing anything yet. Well, I guess we exhausted them, unless the people who watch later on the replay
Do
are
not
able.
agree, right?
Yeah, they will bring more of the dangerous habit, and then we will be able to definitely do that. So, with that being said, we are closing out, right? And so we will say,
Beloved,
beloved,
we wish
wish above
above
all
all
things
things that
that
you
you prosper
prosper
and
and be
be
in
in health,
health, even
even
as
as
your
your soul
soul
prospers.
prospers.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week, same time. God bless you. Have a good week.